Bill just swallowed a mint whole. As he clears his throat, let's catch you up on a few stories that should be on your radar today. It is time for Rapid Fire. Here to break down the headlines are Mr. Griffith, Leslie Picker, happy belated birthday, and Dominic Chu. First topic, the banner IPOs this year have fueled the biggest year for IPO proceeds in nearly 2 decades, and everyone's benefiting. Companies that have gone public this year have so far returned 27% on average since their IPOs. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. What's interesting is the superlative here, and I think a lot of people are starting to notice that this is the highest amount of proceeds raised in the first half of the year since...
Was it
2000?
90?
Yep.
Oh, the year 2000.
The year 2000. And so I think people are saying, you know, everything's going up, everything is working. I mean, there are some exceptions here. We see some smaller biotech companies that are in the red for the year, for example, and some Chinese listed companies. Or Uber and Lyft, exactly, which represented about a third of the proceeds for the first half of the year, by the way. So people have definitely lost money. But I think there is this question of, are investors being discerning enough when they're looking at the IPOs, or are they just saying there's momentum behind these things, I'm getting in while the going's hot?
Here's the thing. I mean, yes, it's a lot of money raised, but the number of deals out there, significantly below what it was even at the same time last year.
Because it's less than half.
81 pricings, according to Renaissance at least. Dealogic has some of those numbers as well. But Renaissance says 81 deals, and at this same time last year, I mean, that's a 22% drop over the same time period in the number of deals that have come up from last year. Wow, right? So it's a handful of IPOs that are very large in size that are accounting for the bulk of that. So before we start making correlations to the dot-com boom, we start to think about everybody was going public back then, raising a little bit of money. This is like a handful of companies raising a lot of it. Right?
But I think this has been a pretty healthy IPO season, don't you? I mean, it's been a good cross-section of businesses that have come to market, and I think the market's done a good job of separating the winners from the losers. I mean, you know, we were all hyped about Uber and Lyft, and look what happened to them. But out of nowhere comes Beyond Meat, which admittedly is a bit of a bubble, but you also have some solid IPOs like Zoom and Chewy and Real. And
how about Levi Strauss on the old side of things, right?
And that was perfectly timed.
Yeah, I was out the gate.
I think who's left in the back half now?
Well,
Airbnb?
We've got Peloton, we've got Postmates, we've got the P's.
Maybe Palantir, right?
Maybe Palantir. We've got WeWork, which I'm personally looking forward to because I think that's going to be an interesting story.
That's still coming in the back half.
Report out. That's the word, that it's still expected. They're still on file anyway. So we'll see how discretionary investors become.
I'd love to see how
the remainder of the deals
does. I think you're right. That will tell us a lot about whether it's getting frothy or not. All right, moving right along. Forget getting a toaster when you open a checking account. That used to happen, right?
Yes, it did.
Bill. Now you can get a $200 rebate towards things like Amazon Prime, Spotify, and Costco. At least if you're a Citi Gold member in their new pilot program and you use your checking account to pay for services like those from the company's partners.
Let's all face it, it's been a long time, but the traditional banking business model is dead. The model of borrowing and lending and making money on the spread just doesn't work anymore. So now
it's the old saw: borrow 3, lend at 3, and out at the golf course by 3 or something.
Or something like that. It has become a fee-based business, and they make the greatest fees off of the great cash cow that is the checking account. That is the free one. They have to pay you on the money market funds and some of the other interest-bearing accounts, which don't make all that much, but it does cost them money. Checking account costs them nothing, and yet they can make some money off of that if you keep a certain amount in your account.
There's been such fee compression and spread compression in the business banking and retail relationship banking model. It's the same reason why if you have a great relationship with the bank of your choosing and you get your mortgage through them, you open up your investing accounts through them, you roll over a 401k through them, they make those streams of income and they try to keep you in that same ecosystem. I mean, Chase does the same thing with their Sapphire card and their banking relationships. Everybody gives these perks, but what's crazy about it now is you're doing this at a time when it's already near zero interest rates overall from a macro perspective, and your cost of funding are still zero as well. So you better be doing something to help make
My only point about this, and I think you only qualify if you have, an average monthly combined balance of $200,000, but that includes retirement accounts. So they have to be linked: retirement, investment, and deposit. But Leslie, here's my point. $200 a year? Am I supposed to change my banking relationship, one of the stickiest, most difficult, in order to get $200 a year that I'm going to use towards stuff I probably already pay for?
Well, that is the big question. And you bring up a good point, is that banking relationships are already really sticky. And it's, you know, people have their cards and, you know, they don't want to, even if you lose a card, you don't want to go through the whole process of finding a new card. Also, I think that speaks to the point of the fact that Citi is offering these subscription services because they recognize that this relationship is sticky and they want to keep you around, as opposed to offering you a one-time toaster,
so
right, Bill?
The only last thing I will say
I think I still
about
have that toaster, as a matter of
But
fact.
here's the interesting thing. If we're now analogizing, if that's a word, Amazon Prime, Costco Gold, and Spotify to a toaster, what does that tell us about those businesses?
Or our consumption habits, by the way.
Definitely that.
For the most, let's face it, you open a bank account and you fall asleep. You never leave, right?
Unless they charge me a fee, I'm not leaving. Yeah.
Even if they charge you a fee. When was the last time you changed banks?
I don't pay. So the reason why is because I've always found the situation that I pay the least amount of fees on, or zero fees, no matter how much I have to transfer into an account or a relationship. I don't bank hop. That's the thing. I always find a product within my banking organization that allows me to have a fee-free situation.
I had to change upon marriage, and let me tell you, that was not. It took a long time, a lot of in-person, long, drawn-out.
I still haven't even done
it was
that.
worth it.
We still keep independent relationships on my end. My wife and I both have separate.
So do we. Separate banks.
We're old school. Topic 3. Here's a new school. Bitcoin has rebounded big time this year, and a new study shows just how energy-intensive the cryptocurrency can be. Cambridge researchers say the global Bitcoin network, so not just mining, but the whole network, uses 64 terawatt hours of energy a year. That's more than the country of Switzerland, and it could power all the tea kettles in the UK for 11 years.
So what I wanted to know is where Bitcoin levels are. Does that have a direct correlation with, you know, the amount of energy consumption that these computers are using to mine?
I think there is, because when Bitcoin was back up to 18,000, 19,000 per coin, everybody was mining it. You had mining operations all over the place, everybody with their server farms, and so that happens. But I'm not sure if that just the Switzerland idea is pretty staggering.
Well, I agree. By the way, we talked so long about banking that we don't have time to talk some Pabst Blue Ribbon. So can I sneak it in real quick? We just have to draw to everybody's attention, Bill.
They're making hard coffee.
They're making hard coffee.
There's a time-honored tradition, I would point out, of mixing Irish whiskey with coffee at the great Buena Vista Cafe in San Francisco.
The home of the Irish coffee,
yes,
the birthplace of it.
Try that, and you don't need to
and
try
forget all this stuff.
What I would just say is, anybody remember Four Loko?
No, that was a new...
Remember that? They banned it back in the day. It was an alcoholic caffeinated drink. It came in those tall cans,
and it
got banned.
What about
different world?
Red Bull vodka?
Yeah, well,
that's not banned.
They're not selling that at the grocery store.
I've seen people drinking
You have to mix that yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, finally today, Alibaba's e-wallet affiliate Alipay wants people to use their facial recognition system to make payments. Got that? They want you to use facial recognition in the checkout. Here's the problem. According to a new survey, more than 60% of respondents felt they looked uglier in that picture than on a regular camera, and it shows up, I guess, in China, like at the checkout when you're using it. So Alipay's solution to get people to use this is to add beauty filters in the app. So we all gave it a try, okay? Here's my before and after. This isn't their actual, this is not actually Alipay, but it's just,
but you look good in both of them anyway.
Well, because I'd had hair and makeup, guys. But on the right, I think I look 10 years younger. Can we see Bill's?
No change.
How about Leslie?
It's the same.
And this is our own technology. Oh, definitely, like, a little brighter. I mean, is that? And finally, Dom. Drum roll, please. Dom turned into an elf, apparently.
We all know people, by the way, who do this a lot, right? I've never used a filter on my face ever, but I got to tell you, I know I have friends who use those filters all the time, and I cannot tell sometimes whether that's the real photo of them or not.
But does anybody not think this will make you use it more at a checkout if you look a little better? I think it definitely will.
I can change my DMV photo too, right? I can do that with my filter.
Well, you know when you like re-enter the United States and you have to take a picture at those little kiosk things at the airports and everything? I always just I press the button and then I leave immediately. I'm like, I don't, and only because I have to re-enter the United States. If I had a choice, I think I would just go back on the plane.
Does anybody's driver's license photo look like you or look decent? I mean, no. But we all still drive anyway, right?
And we still all use those photos.
Although I will say, the look on your face is about, The only time you really have to pull your driver's license out is to hand it to the cop when he pulls you over, and that's about how you look anyway when you're handing it to him. So.
But which is going to be the real picture of you at some point? Is it the before or the after? One more time for Doms before we all leave here.
There you go.
I just mean if a TSA agent this week, as I'm flying next, if a TSA agent saw me in that right-hand photo, they'd be like, what?
They wouldn't even bother you.
No.
It's your new Twitter
They'd
profile.
flag you
picture.
down in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
my friend.
And again, this is not Alipay's actual technology. In fact, if they could send it to us, we'll repeat the experiment.
We'll use it.
Guys, thanks you all. Have a great
Have a
weekend.
lovely
Thank
weekend.
you.
Bill Griffith, Leslie Picker, Dom Chu.